Zoom is made possible by grants from McDonald's Corporation and McDonald's Restaurants Fund and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Waiter! Yeah. Waiter, there's a fly in my soup. He goes, waiter, there's a fly in my soup. Waiter! Yeah, there's a fly in my soup. That's impossible. I put the flies in the raisin cookies. Here's a game you can play sitting in a circle, like categories. It's called Frogs. 1 frog, 2 eyes, 4 legs. Kapunk. In the puddle, 2 frogs, 4 eyes, 8 legs. Kapunk, kapunk. Kapunk on the puddle. Did you say it twice? You said kapunk. Yeah, Rose, you go kapunk, kapunk. Kapunk, kapunk. 3 frogs, 6 eyes, 12 legs. Kapunk, kapunk. Kapunk. Hey! Oh, yeah. Start, Mike. Kapunk, kapunk. Start, jump, Mom. I said 4. 4 frogs. 8 eyes. 16 legs. Kapunk, kapunk. Kapunk, kapunk. In the puddle, in the puddle. In the puddle, in the puddle. I said that. Five frogs. 5 frogs. You're gonna get out. 5 frogs. This kid always works. 5 frogs. 5 frogs. 10 eyes. 20 legs. Oh yeah! I didn't know whether to say in the puddle or kaplunk. Or kaplunk or in the puddle. Oh, I'm gonna get out this time. This kid's gonna beat you, Mike. I know. 6 frogs. 4. No, 7. No, 6. 6. If all pelicans and giraffe were one thing, what a lovely giraffican that would be.
Some people ride to school on a bicycle, which is 2 wheels. But my friends and I, we decided to change all that.
Hi, Philip. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Kleiny. Now we're riding to school on 1 wheel, on a unicycle.
Hey, Slim, like the crepe paper.
Yeah.
Andrea.
Hey, want to go to the basketball court?
Yeah.
Sure.
We all belong to a unicycle club. Some of us knew each other before we all joined, but now our group's even bigger, and lots of times we get together and ride. One really neat thing about riding the unicycle is that you have 2 hands free, so you can play a game or something. But it's very hard to play a game of catch or frisbee or anything like that, because you have to set part of your mind on catching the ball or frisbee or whatever, and the other part on trying to balance.
Michael. What? Ready?
Everybody remembers how they tried to learn how to ride a bicycle, but it's much harder on a unicycle because you have no handlebars to hold on to. It took me about 2 weeks before I could ride just a little bit, and at least a month before I could really ride. When we play basketball, we don't really have a competition game. We just sort of split up into teams and try to help each other out, yet still have fun competing. One of the first things you do in learning how to ride the unicycle, and one of the hardest, is mounting. The trick is in positioning your pedals. You position them like this. It's very frustrating when you learn because you can never get your balance quite perfect and you keep falling either one way or the other. One of the nice things about riding a unicycle is you usually, when you fall, you land on your feet like this. Oops. But of course, sometimes you do fall sideways, so it's good to wear shoes that cover your ankles. Many people think that a unicycle is just a sawed-off bicycle, but it's not. It's very hard to balance on the unicycle because the seat is right above the wheel, which means your balance has to be just perfect. One thing we do when we get together as a group is formations. They're fun, but they're hard work. The formations look quite easy, but they really aren't. It takes a lot of practice to get them how they are, which isn't exactly perfect. Another thing we do in a group is set up practice courses for each other to get more control. The basic thing behind the slalom course is to teach us how to control our turns. We start out with cups further apart, and gradually as we get better, move them closer together, which is harder because we have to make quicker turns. Going in the straight line is kind of fun. Right now our path's about a foot wide, but we're gradually going to move it until it's a little over a straight line. Once you learn how to ride the unicycle, it's just like a bicycle. You just get on and ride off. Never forget how.
Gwen Herndon of Matthews, North Carolina, sent us her glass sculpture. And all she used was a piece of glass, some glass stain, and a piece of tin foil. And if you'd like to learn how to make your own glass sculpture, and don't forget to send us a self-addressed stamped envelope so we can send you a SIM card.
Here's something sent in by Laura Lynn Parlador of Richmond Hill, New York. Try this. You'll need a long loop of string and a little piece of folded paper. To start, hold the loop taut between your hands and place the folded paper over the top string. Now here's the trick. Try to pass the paper from the top string to the bottom string and back again without touching the paper. Good luck.
Let's see. Hold it taut between your hands.
Taut. Well, at
It would
first
be
you
like
said
this.
like
this. Then you take the paper. Okay, now the trick is to pass the paper from the top string to the bottom string and back again. Let's see.
Try it again.
And you make a mistake. You gotta do it again. There. Oh, I hate putting things on strings. Okay.
Hey, that's good.
Hot skill here.
Hot?
Hot pizza.
That's right. Michael, please control yourself.
Oh, gee whiz, gosh darn it.
The real task is getting the paper on. Aha, it's on the bottom string.
Right. That's what I was trying, but something.
Hey, I did it again. I did it.
Yay!
At least we're not going to be done.
If all giraffes and lions were one thing, what a lovely Gearlawn that would be.
The Underwater Kingdom, sent in by Tommy Sakamoto of Newtonville, Mass.
Once upon a time, there were 4 bears. Their names were Bill, Jack, Harry, and Don. As they walked along, they came to a big shack. Bill and Harry said, "Let's go inside." It was dark, so Jack turned the light on, and there was a big machine. They looked at it and thought it was a big imaginary toy. "Let's get in it," they said. So they did, and the machine made all sorts of noises. And everybody got dizzy.
The machine stopped and they went outside. Everybody thought that it was a little different. Bill said,
Let's go exploring.
they walked down the beach and after a while they met a sea monster. He said,
"Don't be scared of me. I'm a good sea monster."
The monster asked if they wanted to go down and see his world. He told them to hop on his back, and they did. They saw all kinds of fish, and then they came to the bottom of the ocean.
It was beautiful. First they met King Narwhal and Queen Coral. They looked like people, except they had tails instead of feet.
they also met General Barracuda and his big seahorse army.
Then the sea monsters took the bears to the royal kitchen, and the octopus cook made the food.
It was delicious. The next day, after they had slept at the sea monster's house, the king wanted to show them through the ocean countryside. So they set off. They rode on seahorses until they reached an area where the fish were playing polo. The bears played too.
It was fun.
Then they went into an ocean forest where the trees looked just like pines. They had a picnic lunch in the forest.
The next morning, a messenger fish came and gave a message to the sea monster.
It said that the bears had to get away because some enemy sharks were coming.
So, for the last time, they saw the beautiful kingdom and countryside, and the sea monster started to take them back towards the shore.
When they got to the shore, the bears said goodbye to the sea monster and thanked him.
Thank you.
They walked down the beach, and soon they saw the big shack again.
They wanted to get back to their family and friends.
They turned on the machine, and once again, the machine made all kinds of noises. Ba-zoop, ba-zoop, ba-zoop. And they were dizzy. When it stopped, they went outside. But the place was not familiar.
The bears that lived there were really strange and different. And then they knew that it was a time machine and you could never go back again.
For every day they had stayed at the kingdom, 100 years had passed at home.
They walked around the town, all crying, and then they met an old bear. He was a nice old bear, and had the voice of the nice king in the water world.
They lived with the old bear happily ever after. The end.
When Zoom first asked me to be on television, I thought it'd be fun to be filmed because I really got such a great hobby. During the weekends, I go over to Monterey and go out with Bill on the boat. Bill is my stepfather. Phil does a lot of nature photography of like sea lions, birds, mountain lions, all sorts of different things. But he especially loves sea otters. I like to go out with him because I can help him get the pictures that he really wants to get. On the way out to the otters on the Coast Guard water break, there are California sea lions, and they stop off there on their way to the south, and they just pile up on the rocks and sun themselves and eat and just enjoy themselves swimming around the water. And if you get downwind of them, they really smell bad. A while ago, they thought sea otters were extinct because they had been hunted so much for their fur. Now they are protected as an endangered species, and there's about 1,400 of them. Before we start filming, we have to get a sea otter close to the boat and just sort of get friendly with them. If you give them squid and clams, they'll stick around because they really eat a lot. They eat 25% of their body weight every day.
1, 2, 3.
Well, when Bill and I are out in the water, I sometimes get my wetsuit on and get in the water and lure the otters in so Bill can get good pictures.
That water's about 52 degrees Fahrenheit. There's the flippers, Tess. Now all we need to do is find an otter. Want to hold the bait bag for me? Okay, now you can bring the animals in so I can photograph them. Big boy.
Sometimes I joke and complain about getting in the water because it's so cold, but I really like it. You really feel like you're an otter yourself, and they're really playful creatures.
Bring him in closer, Tess. Ah, that's good. Hold everything really close.
Is that close enough?
One of the great things about otters is that they're really gentle and they're really cute because they just look like a little fat teddy bear.
Let's try it again. Okay, keep moving, Tess. There we go. Oh, that's nice. There we go.
Sea otters are one of the few animals that uses a tool. If you give them 2 clams, he will use one clam as the anvil, and he'll beat the other clam on his chest. As he pounds on the clam, he turns over and over to get rid of the waste and the broken shells and the pieces of unwanted garbage. Sea otters live in kelp because it's a protective forest, and they are streamlined and they can swim through kelp really easily, and they can escape their enemies. Like if a shark came in, which is rare, it wouldn't be able to swim in kelp at all. They don't wrap the kelp around themselves, they just sort of drape it over like a blanket to prevent drifting. Swimming under the water with an otter is really something else because you feel like, like you're in a totally different place and the sea otter is just swimming around you and he's just graceful. It's like watching an underwater ballet with a sea otter. Sometimes I feel like an otter, but when I try to swim like one, it just doesn't work.
Give a big kick. There we go.
I consider myself lucky because I've got them right here and I can go out and see them every weekend. Sometimes people ask why they stay here, but the only reason, as far as we know, is it's just a nice place to live for otters.
If all elephants and grasshoppers were one thing, what a lovely elehopper that would be.
It's time to roll out the barrel.
Dear Zoom, try to hold a pencil
pencil under your nose and above your upper lip. Now say, run, rabbit, rabbit, run. How many times can you say it without dropping the pencil? It's fun. Sent in by Yvonne Stace of Somerville, Mass.
What? Explain it again.
Run, rabbit, rabbit, run.
And to find out what's inside today. What's the word again?
Run, rabbit, rabbit, run. Run, rabbit, rabbit, run. Run, rabbit, rabbit. Oh, I see how you do it. Rabbit, run.
Run, rabbit, rabbit.
Run, rabbit, rabbit.
Run. Run, rabbit, rabbit.
Run, rabbit, rabbit, run.
Run, rabbit, rabbit, run. Run, rabbit, rabbit, run.
Yeah.
Run, rabbit.
One.
Run, rabbit, rabbit, run. Run, rabbit, rabbit.
Two.
I get it with my mouth.
None. One.
Oh, come on. Sorry.
You got a nice yellow mustache.
Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. You say ribbit.
Like you're not a frog anymore. If all giraffes, lambs, elephants, and tigers are one thing, what a lovely glut that would be.
Each week at this time, Zoom invites you to try it at home.
Did you used to blow soap bubbles? Well, if you get some tin cans and some other stuff, you can make some really incredible bubbles.
Wait a sec, I just want to do one more, okay? Oh, wicked! That's cool. Try this.
Can't try.
How did you do that? I tried that. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Imagine being inside that thing. Whoa! Oh, something else. I needed that. Oh. I give up. Oh.
I know.
Oh, the bobble man can. Ah! Oh, hey!
When the sun goes down, the tide goes out, the people gather round and they all begin to shout. Hey, hey, Uncle Dud, it's a treat to beat your feet on the Mississippi mud. It's a treat to beat your feet on the Mississippi mud. What a dance do they do? Lordy, how I'm telling you, they don't need no band. They keep time by clapping their hands, just as happy as a cow, chewing on a cotton when the people beat their feet on the Mississippi mud. for
us to
do on Zoom. 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 Everybody Zoom. We're gonna zoom, 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 my zoom. Come on and zoom, my zoom, my zoom, my zoom. Come on, give it a try. We're gonna show you just why. We're gonna teach you to fly high. Come on and zoom, zoom, come on and zoom, zoom. Come on and zoom, zoom, come on and zoom, zoom. Come on and zoom, zoom, come on and zoom, zoom.
Zoom is made possible by grants from McDonald's Corporation and McDonald's Restaurants Fund and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.